right, so we just took down a brace here and we're getting ready to put up another sheet. We've got some help now. Dallas is back from her field trip. Did you have fun, Dallas?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get some wood off the truck and start hanging. All right, guys, so the kids got home from their field trip. They actually went to the Cowboy Hall of Fame and had such a great time with their teacher, exploring all of the old music museum and seeing some things. And they actually got to perform there as well. So they had a super fun time. But we're just continuing on right now with hanging plywood, cutting out those windows, and putting braces back where they belong, in the window openings like we discussed before. So this was just a same stuff, different day type scenario. We were just running those sheets of plywood across the top of the sheets we had already attached prior to that. And you'll see here we're working on the north side of the house. Austin went ahead and cut out the bottom of that window opening, and then we just ran a sheet straight across there, and he got it all nailed up into place. This time we implemented our ladder instead of using the bed of the truck. All right, guys, so we've got the whole front of the house sheathed. We've just got one small little piece there at the end that we need to put in. So are we gonna do that piece, babe?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go do it right now.
Okay. As you can see, it feels wonderful outside. It's cooled down so much, but we've got a storm coming in. So we're just trying to do what we can so we can get this done before the rain starts. All right, guys, so you can see we've got several scrap pieces here. Now we are trying to save from cutting a nice good sheet of plywood. So for areas like this, we utilize those scrap pieces because they're perfect, and it keeps us from having to cut into a really good sheet. Now right now Austin is back there. We had a good sheet, but it was pretty bowed, so he's gonna go ahead and bring that one up here so we can cut it, because these are too small to fit in that hole right now, but I'm sure we'll use those elsewhere on the house. All right, so James and Austin are gonna move this piece of plywood over here to the sawhorses so we can cut off our little pieces that we need. So we've got our plywood down. Austin took a measurement there of the board. He already knows what size piece he needs to go in that small opening. And we're just taking the skill saw and we're gonna cut that piece out after we make our straight line with our level, and we're good to go. So if you've been watching our series, you know that we always leave one piece off of the end of a corner when we're working on the house with sheathing. So that's what we did right there. We just put that full sheet in there. Obviously, we just want to make sure that we're not putting in little small pieces where there needs to be a more rigid surface. So that's why the full sheet went in there last. And he went ahead and took a measurement for the second time to make sure that small piece was going to fit, and it worked great. And then I just brought over the air nailer so he could get it secured. Doesn't that look nice? We've got the whole front of the house done. Now tomorrow, we're not sure if we are going to start in the entryway or move on to the back of the house and finish that up, but I think we're gonna call it a day on this part. So if you live in Oklahoma, you know when Travis comes on TV that, yeah, there's going to be some stuff pop off. So that's exactly what happened. We had some storms roll in that evening, and it got pretty windy, had a lot of lightning, had a lot of rain, which we needed the rain, especially for the garden over there, but it got pretty bad. Good morning, guys. It's the next day, and we had all those little storms last night. Luckily, they didn't turn severe. We did have some high wind, but just some wind and rain. But this morning, we're back out here, and we are going to start sheathing the bottom row of this eastern wall of the house. Should be pretty easy. We have no windows to cut around or anything like that. So let's go. So Austin and the kids went over and got some plywood on the truck, and then we met over there on the eastern side of the house. I'm going to come over here and pull out the extension cords and air hoses so we have a clear path to work with. Okay, so we're starting by getting our supplies out. James is over there with Austin, and they're putting zip tape on the bottom of that board since that board's going to come in contact with the ground. So we got started, and of course, with anything, there was a hiccup. Our air nailer started to act up. So I loaded some nails in there, and Austin went to get the first shot in, and it just did not want to shoot. So he did everything he could, sprayed some oil in there to try and lube it up and see if that's what the problem was. I think ultimately it's just kind of on its last leg. We did buy this brand new, but just don't know. It's just acting up right here. Okay, so we kind of missed putting up this next board, but our gun started to malfunction, our nail gun. So Austin oiled it, and it seems to be working fine now. So let's continue on. Or so we thought it was working fine, but ultimately it continued to give us problems for the rest of the day. Not to mention it was super hot outside, and we had an army of red wasps, like buzzing all around us trying to get us, and I hate those things. I don't know about you guys, but I can't stand them. So Austin killed those red wasps. He is my hero. He knows I hate those things. So here I am griping to my father-in-law about how hot it is, and the nail gun. Everything was just really giving us problems that day, but we moved on. We got that sheet nailed in place down there. We put this sheet up, and this was an easy wall because it was in the garage. So it's just a straight run, no cuts, and everything started to work out. All right, so these next two sheets are going to have to be zip taped at the bottom because they're going to be making contact with the ground. So we're going to get those zip taped, nailed into place, and then we'll put the two others up above that, and then Austin will cut out for the windows and doorways. So we got back to work after Austin cut that sheet of plywood. Now we decided on this wall to run the sheet on the right hand side across the bottom up to the doorway. And then you'll see we zip taped it at the bottom to keep it safe from any water splashing up or getting in there. And then he puts another sheet above that sheet, still on the right hand side of the screen. And we just notched it out around that doorway to the left because we didn't want to use a full sheet to span that doorway and waste it. So then after we got that all nailed into place, here he is cutting out the window opening. All right, so far we've gotten that side of the house sheathed. Now we're going to work on this side of the house. And Austin, didn't you say we are not going to be doing the ends of the house until the trusses are here?
We're not going to do the gable ends because on the gable ends, after we set the trusses up, I'm going to run the sheets up the long way, the 8-foot way, to lock the trusses into the side of the walls. So those are going to wait until we get the trusses standing on the top of the roof.
So see, guys, we're almost done with sheathing until we get those trusses.
And we're going to get the trusses next Friday, so hopefully we can take some videos while we're there. I'm going to try to ask them if we can video the trusses being made, so hang tight and we'll see if we can make that happen.
Yes. And in case you're not familiar, a gable end would be when we get these trusses, they're going to come in a shape like this. So the truss will set up above the house like this. And this point right here that I'm showing you will be the gable ends. So that's why right now we're using sheets of plywood the long ways. Whenever we get to those gable ends, we'll be turning those up the long ways so we can cover more area and not use as much plywood. Now we are going to sheathe the entryway as well, but this entryway is going to be partly outside and part of it will be inside the house. So we will only sheathe probably a full sheet in this way on both sides all the way up, because this part is going to have drywall and things like that, because it will be in the inside of the house. We only wanted to leave a little bit of this area to be designated as an outdoor area. That way when you step up into the house, before you hit the front door, you're gonna have a roof or an awning over you right here so you can get out of the rain or any other kind of weather whenever you're entering the house. But for now, we're going to keep working on the back of the house and get the rest of that sheathed all the way to the top. So we moved back to the back of the house, the south side of the house, and we started getting all of our supplies together and getting ready to finish sheathing up the back wall. So here you'll see that Austin's bringing over a sheet of plywood. The girls and I are holding it in place, handing him tools, whatever we need to do to make it to where he doesn't have to take so many steps and be back and forth all over the job site. Because if you know, it sucks to have to stop what you're doing, climb up and down a ladder, go get tools, that sort of thing. So even though it seems like we're not doing a lot, we are very helpful to him, and he tells us all the time that saving him steps is sometimes the best help that he needs. So we ended up getting that all sheathed, and he went ahead and cut around the windows and got those all trimmed out how he wanted them. And of course we had to relocate the air hose because we just had moved so far away from the air compressor. But yeah, we ended up getting the back of the house sheathed, and it was really, really awesome to see the house come together. All right, guys, as promised, now let's get this entryway wrapped up. So we got started working on the entryway, and we had to do a little bit of cleaning here. You know how it is when you're working and busy, you kind of throw things to the wayside and then end up ultimately having to clean up after yourself afterwards. But we got our sheets of plywood there on the bed of the truck. We're applying zip tape to 2 of those sheets because they will be making contact with the ground, and we want to make sure those are totally protected from any water. So after getting those couple of sheets taped up with the zip tape, we went ahead and brought them over and started to hang them. And here's Austin getting everything tacked into place and secure. We did add a stud there on the left just to give us a nailer to nail to, and we did on the right as well also. So we got those all in place and then brought in the other sheets that go up above. Those did not need zip tape because they would be protected and up high. So no need for zip tape there. All right, guys, so we got the entryway done, and we taped the bottom with zip tape because, like I said, this is going to be an outdoor area right here that you see. And then you're gonna go in, and this will be the front door in this area. We got everything sheathed, windows cut out, doorways, all of that done on the south wall and the north wall. Again, we are not going to sheathe all the way up on the east or the west walls because we are waiting for our trusses. Plan is to go and order the trusses next week, and then it'll depend on how long it takes the company to make them before we are able to film any content, of course. But we will definitely try to film what we can when they are making and manufacturing the trusses so you guys can see how it's done. But that's going to do it for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and share the video if you can. And we will see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching. Homestead Hopes. Bye. Hey guys, good morning from Homestead Hopes. So today is the first day of summer vacation for the kids, and Austin and I and the kids are actually going right now to Porter, Oklahoma to order the trusses for the house. So hopefully we can get some good video of what goes on there and show you guys around. This place is called Newell Truss, and again it's out of Porter, Oklahoma. We got a fantastic deal from them, so let's go there and get these trusses ordered. So we were super excited to share this trip with you guys. We made our way through the town of Haskell, Oklahoma, which you'll see right here. Very scenic route. They have a lot of old buildings to look at. It was pretty nice. And then once you leave Haskell, you will be introduced to sod farms as far as the eye can see. And back there, we just went over the Verdigris River. So it was a really, really beautiful journey going over there, and we had a really good time. As you know, Porter, Oklahoma is famous for their peaches. We didn't get to stop and get any, but they're the best. Okay, guys, so we had to stop and get some gas, use the restroom. If you're ever in Porter, Oklahoma, this is the cleanest little convenience store ever. It's called Walker 5 Country Store. Their bathrooms are immaculate, and they have really nice looking food. And it looks like we're paying $4.19 a gallon today. Ouch. So we left the little corner store and made our way into town over to Newell Wood Products. All right, guys, we're here at Newell Wood Products, and here's some trusses out here they've already got on display. So let's go inside and get ours ordered. They are busy here this morning. Let's go inside and talk to Mr. Justin.